how to choose what you're doing. Are you going to heal? Are you going to go invulnerable? How are you going to play it? Scream at the moment has the mastermind mechanics on top of the aim to deal with it so well. We're going to Haven, Mitch. And it's Liquid's pick coming out here. This is huge. Liquid go into Haven. They say they're going to get it done. And sometimes the Haven looks amazing. Other times we sit there and question it, right? But overall, this now says to me that NiP think they figured this out.
And typically, you don't see Team Liquid playing with a Sova when it comes to Haven. They used to as well. They tried it 4 times, but that was alongside a Breach setup. And as soon as Scream moved over to the Reyna, we also saw the shift to a Raze instead of a Sova. Interesting that they're delving back into those kind of, I guess, more tactical roles. What I would be a little bit cautious when I look at this, both of these teams have played quite a bit of Haven, but Team Liquid definitely come out on top whenever you look at their statistics. They've got a 74% win rate, a very strong defensive side, and we saw that versus Vodafone Giants. They beat them 10-2 on the defense. BBL got a little bit more groundwork, but even then they could only manage 4 on their attack. All in all, I would be very surprised if this was NiP's pick, because it feels like, okay,
well, it's Liquid's pick anyway, so that's fine.
Oh, it is Liquid's
I said that from the beginning. Yeah, you're not listening to me. I'll see
sorry.
how it is.
I missed that. Skipped over that detail.
Mitch.
The thing is, though, in the past, they had a head-to-head on this, and NiP won it over in the WePlay event. So for Team Liquid to play that with their recent 4-win streak versus FPX and Vodafone Giants as well, which were very good games for them, you would imagine then, obviously, they've gone back. They've done some groundwork on that previous game with NiP, and they're ready to roll with a win.
Well, talking about ready to roll, we're rolling straight in to the pistol round. It's going to be NiP going up against Team Liquid. NiP starting out on this defensive side of Haven. It's Liquid's map pick. And for Liquid, they're the ones who are normally in charge of the Reyna. They're the ones that can get away with it. Now we get to witness Hip for the first time. He's been using Phoenix most of this tournament, right? I don't think we've seen him come off it once in total.
No, he was picking it pretty much
everyone.
Might have been one map that he came off.
Yeah, so I think one map he came off it, and now we get to see his first Reyna of this tournament. It's only been Scream up until this point. A little Reyna versus Reyna matchup. Maybe we'll start to see the popularity increase for this agent.
Yeah, well, he was mainly picking Phoenix when it came down to Ascent. Those were the three maps where he chose it. I wonder if we'll see it maybe coming through again. But Raze was his fallback. Now, you remember when Reyna came out, Hip was the one that was just diving in and maining her. 37 maps he's played with this agent, so he's definitely well experienced. This pistol round's very slow from Liquid as well, very uncharacteristic. They're gone out, spread into defaults, but late they'll shift over towards this A site with a minute left on the clock after seeing no aggression from NiP. It's a very nice crossfire they've got as well between Fearoth and Hip.
Yeah, it means they can turn into this quite quickly, right? They don't just get surprised and sideswiped. We're going for this slow execute once again, though, from Liquid. They like to run the clock down a little bit on this pistol round and then just burst in. The problem is here, though, if you're NiP, you start to get a feeling that it could be. Now they spotted out. They did the jump. Hip puts it up in the air. He's going to go look for it, but the nade coming out. Oh! He tries to avoid it. It's not going to work out. Rhyme does manage to take down Scream, but it's Liquid picking up the rest of the kills. They've got the site control. The spike's going to go down as well. They're not going to be stopped just yet. And there's only 2 members of NiP left in this round. Not going to be easy for them to push back in. Kree going to try and find his way in. Going to try and hope that he can block some of the site off and make this easier. But Cryptics, he's there ready and waiting. Of course, Link delivers a headshot. It's the first round going to Liquid, and it's NiP who fall on the first hurdle.
Well, Liquid took it slow. They looked for any pushes coming through from NiP, and in the end, it definitely paid off when they just burst out towards that A site, winning all the duels as they went. Now we look in towards the second round, where realistically it should be a fairly one-sided one. You had a nice wall going down there by Link. It did seem like a little bit of a panic one. As soon as they got in, they're like rushing over to just get that wall in play. And it's very important, right? Because on a pistol round, you cause them basically, they have to knife it. And once you put that wall down, it's actually solid. It's not so solid if you get it down late, because in that alleyway, if a player's if they make it on top of it, it'll just break once they hit the roof. So that's a massive problem if they do manage to get close enough. So as soon as they took those 2 kills, he's just running over like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And he got it in play in time.
Now, Mitch, one thing I want to look at here, right? When we're getting people changing up agents and moving around, obviously they would have played it in their pub games and they're practicing a bit with it. But when it comes to using it in an official, because we're so new with Valorant, we don't really know how long it is that needs to be adjustment and get themselves ready for it, right? We just saw Mixwell pick up his first official gamed raise, and yeah, they won, but it was certainly not easy. Giants gave him a rough time. Now we're seeing Hit with his first official game in this tournament with Reina. We've seen him use it in the past, right? But what's the time range you give these people in order to feel confident and say, oh, it's working or not?
Well, I think the thing is you just have to look at a couple different games and say, what value are you bringing
How's it
to
working?
the lineup?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, okay.
If you're feeling comfortable, that's great. But if you're not bringing value to the team versus what you could be, then it doesn't really matter about comfort or not. Scream, look at this. It's that.
Oh, dirty Scream. That's the way you do it. Doesn't even bother with trying to heal up afterwards. He's just gunning for him.
The orb went down behind the box, I think, so he couldn't actually pop the heal or the disengage. So he was like, I'll just kill everyone then. All right, cool.
All right, I'll just attack instead.
That was unbelievable.
Good eyes, Mitch. Good eyes.
So 2-0 for Team Liquid, a round that they should have won, but thanks to Scream, did it quite cleanly. I mean, I could have went south. Just could have lost an extra couple weapons he didn't need to, but instead they just absolutely clean house. Yeah, because he was head peeking that angle. So then you saw Scream jump where he's trying to like press E and like get that invisibility. He's like, oh no, I gotta kill him, I guess.
Guess I just have to rely on my amazing aim, you know. Not really much of a problem for a man like me.
Up on 4 kills. So we come into a buy round now for NiP, and this is when things can get a little bit dangerous. Liquid will generally in this position keep some weaker weapons. You'll see that from a lot of teams. Like when you've got a Spectre, you'll just carry it forward. And obviously that gives you a disadvantage in a lot of those duels.
Luck has got himself in a nice spot. Phantom in hand, though. Not his usual operator. Would have had the cash for it by the looks of it as well, if that cash money's right. Oh, he's got no idea they're close just yet. He's just checking. Remember what Liquid do on this, though? It's always the run-up, block off the left-hand side. But from this position, Lucka would be able to have a vantage position in order to see them. Oh, no. Nicely done. He finds Eccles just as they go in. He pushes himself away. He stays up. He may be slow, but at least he's got the kill.
He's backing off like an octopus, but he manages to get out of there, swinging through for a little bit more, but Scream's there and waiting. A weaker weapon from Link comes into play, the Bulldog. We know just how strong that can be. The Shock Dart not quite landing for Fearoth, unfortunately. And a 4v3. NiP not really under too much pressure, because of course that spike still needs to be planted.
Like an octopus, and I've just got this thought in my head of him like flailing his multiple tentacles, like trying to run away. Well, that's exactly what NiP are trying to do. Except they're not finding any success with it. Link was still hanging about. Soulcast tries to get some extra damage done. They need to be so careful now. 2 versus 2. The spike may be planted. Rhymes looking. Checking the corners. Unsure of exactly which way they might go. Information has been passed to him from window, but is it going to be enough for him to be able to get his way in there? Scream still up and on it. Oh, and he comes round at the right time. Pokes himself out, goes and joins back up with Soulcast, and now this becomes way too difficult. Soulcast is just making noise, he's pushing for it. He wants to kill. He will go down, though. Maybe a bit over-aggressive with that one, and Scream can just back away, though. It's not going to be a problem. It's still going to be a 3-0 to Liquid. But Soulcast, man, like, I know you're fine. You got the money. I'm not going super against it, but the thing is, it's a bit unnecessary, you know, to just make all that noise. You could have walked it.
Yeah, true. Fearoth was 11 HP that whole time when he was up in the window. So the fact
he took a battering.
Yeah, and then that duel didn't even go against him. It's pretty unbelievable.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
But either way, one saved weapon ain't going to help them too much. As I said, you know, Liquid, they go in there with a couple weaker weapons. Like they had their Bulldog out. But then they come out of this one, obviously, they've got their full rifles, but most importantly, their opponents don't.
And this was off the back of Eccles going down early, Lucka spotting him out from up high, and they still managed to take the round. That on its own shows how good the individuals on Liquid and the quick decision-making can be. Oh, they try to take it down quick. Scream, though, he's got a vantage position now. Nicely done. Him and Soulcast able to tap away. Though, do they know where Hip is tucked away at? They're checking for a short push potentially coming through. Soulcast looking to get up high. Kree pushing out. This could be dangerous for Liquid. He snuck through and they have no idea. Being checked, but he's not going to show his head from this spot.
You pretty much catch them mid-air as they jump on out the window. Unlikely in a round like this that they'll do that. That's very dangerous. Soulcast has no heal close by either. Now no heal at all as Link gets taken down. Didn't even want to look towards the right side of mid. Kree got it for free. This is a disaster. Scream manages to make it out to the corner. He knows there's a second player here, so he'll go out for that skirmish 100% of the time. Get the overheal up as well to get his full shields back. And they are cleaning it up nicely, but Kree's continuing to do damage in the back lines.
Yeah.
He's dropped the spike as well, decided to disengage, but he's picked up a rifle and sprays straight onto Cryptix. He's trying to bait that player in window out as well. The timing doesn't work as it's Scream. Come on, he knows what's going on.
Scream's having one of those games, Mitch. You can already feel it. 4-0, and he's just like, not only top fragging, but he is just pushing the limits, pushing the timings, being cheeky as you like as well.
This is very close to what Patatek was able to put up, right? Where he had 9 kills in the first 4 rounds. Everyone else had 2.
Very reminiscent of that.
It's huge. And for a player like Scream as well, you know, when Patatek does it, we're thinking, that's dangerous.
The double op setup is out as well. Lucka and Fearoff. We're seeing this more and more, and I don't know if I'm sold on it just enough yet, because it's very heavy investment.
It is. No, it's a huge amount of economy to throw into the game. If you're miles ahead, for sure. But I guess the way NiP are looking at it is that they didn't have a whole lot of success in the previous buy round. They didn't feel like they were on point on those early duels. And so now they want to just take it out. It's like a desperation play. Pull out the operators. That'll change the game a bit. And indeed it will. But if Liquid manage to close in that distance, you're in trouble.
I was watching Shroud stream a bit of Valorant the other day, and they were playing against the team, and they were losing a few rounds, and they went for a 5-op setup, and they just dominated. And the other team literally was just typing in chat, can we not just play 5 operators, you know? Yeah. It is sometimes painful, right, in the right hands, but in a team game, probably not the optimal decision, and, well, that's not the greatest shot from Fearoff. Ooh, that's given Liquid a chance. Soulcast has already got quite close here on shore. He's going to try and push his way up. And actually, he can get quite far on this. Fearoff. Oh, no! Soulcast, he's got away with it. Boombot's going to go out as well, but Scream with his back turned. Hip is going to try and lock it down, but Cryptix is there, ready and waiting for the refrag. This is still a chance for NiP to get around on the board, but it's all about how this retake will work.
I know
Rhyme.
exactly where you are.
Oh, no, the Cypher upload come out. That's great for Liquid. Now Link knows the information. The flank is coming. The hatless Cypher. He looks so funny. Scream gets resurrected. Oh, Lucka though. He just gets an additional kill, all for the fun of it.
Link had a wall. Why not put the wall down when you're resin?
Yeah. Well spotted. That just doesn't make any sense. The knives are out though, but Link is headshotting for now. Can he hold on? It's all up to Link, the headshot machine. He's in a 1v1. The spike is down. He can't get it done. Kree manages to save it, and that's going to be the first round for NiP off the back of the double op setup, and it is just going to be made. But my oh my, that could have all come down to Scream staying alive or not. Why did that wall not go down? Little mistakes like that.
It's so basic as well. It's so fundamental.
Yeah.
When you've given up that control, you know there's players towards that side of the map, towards spawn, and no one's peeking you. Either that, or when you pop the res, if you're trying to bait the fight, you swing out and hold it. Don't just leave him there, like hanging out to dry.
Mitch, honestly, right, we had some food during the break and feel like I'm completely revamped again for this.
Yeah.
I'm alive and well.
I was starving by the end of that best of 2.
I need to recommend our viewers as well during the break go and get their drinks and snacks, because you definitely don't want to miss any of this action. It's been crazy. And Lucka, he's now moved over. It was Fearoff here, but Lucka, he hits those shots. He makes it work. He quickly gets out of there. Did take a bit of damage, but at least he picked up the kill. I believe Scream's trying to make his way up, though. He wants to try and fight back. Kree playing a bit of long distance. His aim not quite a surefire, but Lucka again, he is able to land all the shots you want to hit from him. Eccles has got so far in this, though. This is the important kill. Lucka has to be able to take down Eccles here, otherwise it's a huge problem. Hip goes down instead. Oh, that's a shot given away. The Shadow Orb and the Cage both go down. NiP's retake's going to be very difficult on Rhyme. Now his vision is blocked. Problematic. Do NiP still want to go for this? It is the winnable, but they're just been abilitied out for now. Eccles not wanting to give away his position. Smart stuff. Shots didn't connect with him, so he won't give anything away. Lucka, double smokes. Ooh, he flew out with that one. But why did you not reload before that? You've been waiting so long, Lucka. Little details like that, right? You're giving more time away to a Liquid that are going to get around here nice and secure now.
Yeah, that's a massive mistake. Liquid with 5. Let's see if the exit at least comes through. The heal for Link, just enough to keep him on 5 HP with a Bulldog frag. He didn't even go for the weapon either. He could have had an upgrade, but
I think he would have gone into the spike, wouldn't he?
True, yeah. He could have waited outside, went in because it recedes afterwards, right, for a second or two. But
He
yeah,
was just being
not worth the
cautious.
risk in
And
case
also, he doesn't
another
know the
player-
second player was
Exactly.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't want to get taken down.
That was a good start from Lucka, but after this, right, it's all started to go backwards for NiP.
5 HP, like, and it's 5 HP when he'd just been healing up.
Yep.
So if it was a second earlier, he didn't have that HP. 'Cause remember, your
Oh.
healing gets paused whenever you take damage.
They've switched it up, gone for some C aggressions, Sheriff's in hand. They know Eccles is good for this. The Omen, oh, headshot landed. Sheriff put it in the work. Now they've got themselves a weapon off this round. They look to continue to push on it. Scream on the hunt, manages to tap up the Cypher. Cage may go down. They're going to try and spam through it. He's not risking it just yet. Throws his eye up. Doesn't want to push on it just yet. Checking the corner. Being oh so careful.
I mean, like, just hitting all those cages caused the Cypher to go back because he's like, oh, there's like 3, 4 people here. So he just leaves. Obviously, Scream has got the backup, so if they've sold that info, they've sold correct info.
Poor Hip's just throwing out eyes to be destroyed. He's like, okay, yep, they're still here. This isn't fun.
Scream has his ult also, and they should know the player that was close.
Was
it the raid?
Ooh,
Was
it's so close.
But then the blast pack takes him out in the end, and Nade Solkis with the double kill, shutting down that close corner. And there's the benefit
Here
of a
we
raise.
go.
But Kree, he's been so solid on the Sheriff this far. The TP gets over safely to the right side, going into the window. Link suspects it. No, he suspects the A play, but luckily Kree misses.
Link's reactions are just on point, man. He's got his revive up as well. They didn't choose to bring Eccles back into this round. They know they were against pistols, but Lucka does have the operator in hand, and now he's got the spike in front of him. Avoids most of the damage, so he's sitting in a good place. Spike will still get planted, and the timing, he really had delayed that. Become very scary for him. The double darts go across.
Not
The Cypher's
quite.
so low.
Not quite Jomba's time.
No, not as good on that, right? That would have probably killed him had it been the Jomba style.
I think so.
Some teams need to watch how he's doing that, man. Take it into their own game.
Nice little clean up by Solkis in the
Solkis
end.
in a 4K, yay.
Only had the pistols, so at least it's not the end of the world. They only lose 2 players. I mean, it could have gotten a whole lot worse considering how that round started. NiP were miles ahead.
Yeah.
But that ray is used to clear out. Had it not have been there for C long, I think he would have been in a very, very tough spot because peeking into those players, there was another one on C site. You'd just be triple peaked and could spiral out of control. But having a raise in that position helps a lot. Feareth is down on a Bulldog at this stage, and Link's got the upgrade. Off the Bulldog at long last, coming into round number 7, or round number 8, excuse me, and he's got an operator in play.
Only one operator up for NiP though, so can't invest into the double up. They know how expensive it was. Remember, they may have won a round off it, but only kept one alive, so then it became very expensive and troublesome for him. And that's the problem with running a double op setup. You can't then go straight back into it. No matter what, it's not a possibility.
Here.
Even if you do win the round, taking that many casualties and not saving it over is always going to be a problem.
Yeah, you need like 9k stacked up on your players, and at that point, I don't
Yeah.
think you need to go for double ops. Whatever you're doing is working.
Oh, if Kree decides to pop out anytime soon, he might just be able to have a good understanding of what could be going on. He's actually unsure if anyone's managed to sneak by just yet. And that's the problem. A lack of information is certainly there.
Satchel out.
This timer just ticking all the way down as Liquid sit firmly, still in towards the spawn, essentially. They've looked for map control and not really found any, or any of the duels they wanted to.
No.
And still very cautious, of course, of the double op setup that could be in play for their opponents if they just made a few sacrifices. Smoke towards upper. TP. That's control easily given, but it's down below that the TP's coming in. They're not ready for that. And Eccles manages to pick up Fearoth from behind. They hadn't got a clue.
Brilliant wall off though. Spike goes down with no problems at all. Hip, he's not in this fight for the moment. Great work from Eccles, continues to make real problems here for NiP to understand what's going on. Kree, he couldn't teleport successfully here. They're all falling apart. It's all on Hip now, and he's completely destroyed. The better Reyna won that one. And Liquid 7-1 now. This may have been Liquid's map, but right now it looks like NiP don't have anything in it at all. It's like they don't know what's going on and how to deal with a Liquid that we've honestly seen very similar players to them over and over again. We know they like to do this.
And we sing the praises of Scream all the time, but really, in that round, you see it yet again. He's able to take duel after duel, disengage.
Yep.
The heals are barely used, you'll notice. Generally, he just goes in for the informative play. And it makes sense because they've got Link usually alive at that point. We mentioned he's the player with the best KD in this tournament, or he was. Let me just refresh that. Yes, he is. What? He's got a 1.8 KD.
He did have that game where he went 20 for 2.
Yeah, that did help. That did help.
That's quite a boost, you know.
That's unbelievable. 1.8, next closest player is 1.4. And that's Scream.
Here we go. Scream pushes on forward. The execute from the Omen and Reyna. They've completely barreled into this C site with no resistance towards them. Fearov's got some hope with that Bucky in his hand, but... Oh, here we go. Link, are you going to be pressured? Oh, the fast play was shorty. Nicely done by Lucka. I thought that might... that was less than ideal. He didn't expect him to push so far down, but Kree... Was that a double off one bullet?
I think he just got a collateral.
Oh, Kree! I would love to have seen that. Careful, Scream!
He played
Tempting
with
fate.
He absolutely
But he still
played with
headshots. He just goes in for the kill. You know, why not? Doesn't even heal himself up. Just gets invulnerable. Now it's a 2v1. It's certainly possible here for NiP, but not when they're just going to jump on you like that and absolutely take it to you. They were not even scared. They weren't trying to defend themselves. They just wanted the kill.
Yeah, again, I think that just highlighted my point about Scream's heals. He's on 70 HP, and he decided, no, I don't think I want to heal myself. I want to disengage.
Poor Lucka, because if he didn't have to break that, he could have potentially got Soulcast as well.
Yeah, he could have maybe closed the distance. Definitely done some damage, and that could have helped in the end. But yeah, I'm impressed by Scream's Reyna. I think he's showing a level that most people didn't expect from her.
Oh, yeah.
After she was realized to be not completely overpowered as everybody thought.
It's overpowered in the right hands, right? If you're someone like Scream getting enough kills, it's not even overpowered, right? It's just being used correctly. And many people don't use it correctly. That's the issue.
If they added Sage in now, and then you just watch Link playing her, you'd be like, whoa, get her out of the game immediately. She's broken. It's like, no, Link's just sick.
You put me on my Reyna and it's like, oh dear. Many losses, many confused moments. I can't dance around like Scream. I don't have that quick finger ability.
No. All the ults in play at the moment for Team Liquid, 3 out of 5. They're feeling good. They're lacking their damage one on Raze. But still, once Scream's got his up, that's all that really matters. It can change the tide of the round immediately. You got movement in towards Garage. They're going to smoke it off as well and just really sell that idea to NiP that that is their map control. Not committing any players towards holding it, confident that NiP won't retake it. Which for now seems to be okay. Good idea. Wall to the left side. We talked about this before, Banks. This is what Team Liquid love to do.
Special. It's the Liquid special. Get into B, wall off the left-hand side, and dominate the opponent by forcing them into your hands, forcing them into your choke point, because our aim is better, and we are the dominant team. And that's exactly what Liquid is showing us right now.
Plant needs to come in still, but it looks like they should get
that forgot about it.
fairly for free. Link takes down Looker, leaving just him. They know exactly where he is. What I want to mention here, walling the left side, this is something that bothered me a lot when it came down to beta. I want you to look at that map. From B, where are the players going to play in general on the map? One on C, you're probably going to have one in the garage window as well, right? Okay. And then other than the B players, you've got A site. Now, the garage player's got a very quick rotate if you hit B. He can be there in 2 seconds. The guys from A, they're
the long
6,
way.
you know, 6 or 7 before they get a sight line. And so many times I saw teams walling the right side. I'm saying, why? Like, why are you... Okay, you can try and force the fight straight away, but if you're that low on time, you don't want to take that risk. Just wall left, get the plant, and then go for those duels.
Exactly. It doesn't compare, mate. It really doesn't compare. Now Creed tries to take a couple of shots at the Marshal. He's hopeful. Teleports his way up. Liquid weren't pushing him fast enough for it to be any real concern to him. This has been ultimately dominant. Realistically, NiP need the next 2 rounds here, and from what we've seen from Liquid, I'm not too sure, man. I'm really struggling to see this. And I get it, like Hip's changing things up again. He's now gone on to the Reyna. He's just trying to find what's comfortable for him. Remember, he comes from Overwatch. He comes from being a very skilled individual player, especially ability-wise, mechanically-wise. He understands how this all works out. He just doesn't know what's fit for him right now.
I mean, you'll remember that game I was referencing earlier when Liquid were Fish 1-2-3. They played up against NiP and NiP won on this map, but it's just, it's not a good map.
This
for NiP in
Liquid,
general.
since they've become Liquid, right, is looking formidable. Like, it's like they put the serious cap on right now. They went, we're not going to win any tournaments, right, until we hit an org, and then we're just going to win everything.
That's when we come in as the champions.
It's like, we're repping properly.
We laugh, but it's definitely possible. It was a good opening duel by Looker. He's still got all his knives because he obviously killed Refreshers. But he's missed the right click. That's to the other side. Out with the classic, but it's not enough. And what do we talk about? Bangs again and again. Looker, he just misses shots.
Lucker and knives. Yeah, he's so good with the operator, but it's the knives that just are awkward as hell for him. Eccles managed to dive his way out using the teleport, but Kree, your Marshall, mate, is looking really nice. He domes Scream with no problem at all. Hip wants to get involved. A bit further away at the moment. The Raze ult is being used by Soulcats again, but no one's close. He's like, oh, it's ticking again. Come on, man. Please. Fires it off. Doesn't actually manage to connect with anyone. Oh, Nip tries to push through. Soulcast is there ready and waiting. It doesn't matter if your location's revealed at this point because you are not allowing Nip to get into this one. Kree's running away from the grenades. He's low on health anyway. He's going to have to back away. And it again goes to Liquid. 10-1, Mitch. What on earth is this?
It is an absolutely wild situation to see Team Liquid dominate NiP by such a large margin. I mean, when I look at this team and the results recently, NiP have done better and better. They've been slowly but surely getting there. The G2 game, okay, it wasn't amazing. They didn't win it. But as I said, the Ascent in particular, being so far behind, 10-2 down, and coming back 13-11, it's very inspiring to see that. At least their second halves have been good. But unfortunately, they need to be good for them to have any chance, and that's the same case here. 1 round left to play for, and at most, NiP can double the rounds. It's just terrible.
Yeah, not really what they want to find in this, Mitch. And look at this. They've got the Sage ult ready. They've got Screams ult ready on the Reyna. This is... Okay, there's a couple of ults up, the Omen and Cypher, but not exactly what NiP would be wanting in a round like this. Lucker couldn't make his work. He got that first really solid kill, and then after that, he quickly dropped off. The flop was real. Soulcast, how have you got there? He's just got there completely unchecked, and they haven't hit A for so long. They've left the site as well. Full-on trickery taking place right now.
Cover going out.
He's just tucked in, smoked off now. Might think that gives him an opportunity. Although at this point, you see, because the smoke is down, they'll think, okay, well, he could have crossed there.
Yeah.
So they, if anything, they've helped themselves out. Hip's been spotted. Very good paranoia. Everybody's pushed back by this. NiP are delaying so much time. There's the wall on the left, but hold on. It's not going to be the Liquid special. This time it's a full A rotate. And listen.
Oh, Soulcast unlucky on the timing. Rhyme, he had his camera destroyed and needed to activate, needed to react, and he did in style. But now Liquid need to ensure that this can go down. It's low on the time. Oh, the revive comes in though. It's perfect. It's still doable. Link even gets the kill onto Hip. Screams up there on his Reyna, but he's only going to be going down straight away. It's Kree, Rhyme, they're pushing in. NiP are making this work. They desperately need this round, but can they get it done? They're being revealed. That Cypher ult's coming in handy. The position's unknown. Oh, Link hits it. Oh, he nearly gets the second, but Fearoff sprays them both down. And they do double their rounds. They do give themselves a fighting chance, but it has still been Liquid all the way from start to finish.
Yeah, this is not looking all too good if you look at the scoreline, but at least that final round, it is a little bit of extra confidence. I have to say, Banks, I lied to you earlier. I've just come back to check out what was going down, and in the G2 versus Giants match, you said, did anybody choose this as a tie? And I said no. I was wrong. He's outplayed me again.
Who?
Angel actually did choose that as a tie. He's got the biggest brain.
What? G2 game?
The G2 Giants game. He picked a tie for that.
Angel is
you're a
the man.
So he also picked a tie for this, alongside myself, Ardis, and CNED.
Yeah, no. Ardis is always going to go against Liquid. Like,
of course.
He's either going to say they're going to lose, or they're going to tie. He's never going to say they're going to
win. It's like, we could just get a team of us casters, and he'd be like, yeah, Liquid, probably tie, maybe lose. Like,
yeah.
Oh, But at this point, I will say the loss isn't looking likely, Banks. I don't think this map, like realistically, there's no way Liquid should let go of this one. They're on the defending side. This is their better side. NiP, okay, they warm up half to half from what we saw yesterday versus G2. But this is too much. Just way too much. We're looking at getting garage control immediately is at least a massive positive. They can split the C site now through spawn. All they have to do is contend with Scream. They've spotted him. He's missed all his bullets. Only a lick of damage to Kree and he goes down.
It's unlike Scream to miss those shots, but this could give NiP the chance they want. Eccles starts to push into it. He gets headshotted straight away. It is a quick recovery, but this is not what Liquid would have wanted. NiP trying to find their feet. They got that previous round. Soulcast has no abilities left. He also has no armor either. Link looking to work his way up into B. They need to go together. They need to go in timing. Oh, and Link's going to start off good. Will this force him back? Soulcast is just baiting out position at this point. He's tapping away, sorry, not typing away. Technically on a keyboard. He could be typing, you know. Still moving in that way and gets away with the kill. Link goes down eventually, but Soulcast still wants to get the job done. It's a 1v1, and this is where Lucka, he has to survive. Oh, no! No, Lucka's so low on health. But it's too far gone. Or is he staying with it? Yeah, there we go. Oh, that could have been it. That could have been absolute game over. What a crazy moment there. Soulcast out of nowhere could have got that done.
And literally, if that nade just blew up, it blew up a second earlier. If it went a little bit deeper, it was done.
A bit further behind him because he had nowhere dashing out.
That's unbelievable. But 10-3, NiP have just about kept themselves in with some semblance of a chance. Now all they have to do is do it many more times. Like, Liquid need to be locked out of this. You cannot give them a chance. They're force buying here as well. Liquid don't care. They're so far ahead, they can take these risks. They can play super aggro. And it's dangerous, especially when you're pushing in towards Garage, if you give any close-range duels. At a minimum, you're probably thinking about a shorty being here. But that spam from Scream is just to make them think that the corner is clear. Surely they actually check this. Yes, they do. They've seen a Judge! Why are you pushing versus a Judge? You know he's there! One after another as well. Luckily, he missed it. But that's just crazy. I thought when they saw it, they'd be like, oh, let's not go in through the choke point versus a shotgun one at a time. No, let's just go for it.
And that's normally the Eccles special. Oh, Scream shooting really fast at that Sheriff as well. This is still winnable, scarily, here for Liquid. Those shock darts just about narrowly missed. Crypt is going to come from the other side here. NiP need to be oh so careful. 2 versus 3. Ooh, ooh.
Tickling them from afar. He's got the feathers out.
He's just peppering them little by little. Spraying them down. Oh no, they didn't know where to look and who to shoot at. They nearly line up again. Feels
Feels like
NiP.
the stinger at range is like that Spanish Inquisition sketch where they're like, we will torture you with the pointy corners of this pillow, and they just start like touching them with the pillow. Does nothing. But this was crazy. This is just madness. Why are you pushing into that?
Ooh.
Hip goes, and look, if Link,
If Link actually hit the aim, yeah.
yeah, you're screwed. Your HP is so low. Cryptix trades you with that stinger every single time. Then it might be a pillow shooter, but it'll still do the damage at that HP. It's ridiculous. You haven't seen that one, no? I think it's Monty Python.
Probably have a long time ago. Doesn't ring any bells.
They'll never
You explained
expect
it very
the
well.
I guess that's what it was, though, in a way. It's like they'll never expect the Spanish Inquisition. As soon as he fires the judge, it's like, they'll never expect us to push him one by one.
We'll give him all the opportunity. There's another judge up, though, and it's going to be Soulcast this time. So Liquid trying to force their way up. They've got the rounds to spare. Scream and Link on the Sheriffs and a Marshal for Cryptix.
The timer's ticking down. We'll be starting soon. And you've got to look at NiP as, I guess, when they get to about 7 rounds, if they can get there, they've got a good chance of getting back into this. But until then, I'm going to sit with some very comfortable doubt. It's the chances of Liquid giving them that much room is quite low. This round
That
should go their
lineup
way.
was so close, by the way, just with the Sheriff.
The player had already stepped back as well. I think a
yeah.
second earlier, he's actually there.
Oh, too close for comfort.
He was out for lunch getting the reload.
Kree and Eccles just having a bit of Omen talking through the wall. How you doing? Don't shoot me.
Decent damage through the wall.
Cover going out.
Realistically, Liquid are just hoping for a massive mistake by NiP. Say,
Yeah.
rushing 1-by-1 into a shotgun. If they could give them those kind of opportunities, the pistols could prevail, but the vast majority of the time, this is a clean round. That's what it should be.
Cage triggered.
Right, pops the cage. He's going to go up close, hoping someone just breaches it. But he's no, there's a player behind him, caught off guard by Eccles. That's the kind of mistake you're hoping for from NiP.
Oh!
And that's another one. They're peeking and pushing into pistols one by one, giving every chance for Team Liquid to take this. This is ridiculous.
5v2 now. The spike may be down. Oh, if he goes, if Soulcast goes, now is your time. He waited for the tripwire. Oh!
What?
What is this? Soulcast, no!
They spotted him. How are they just not looking? At least they're not punished
Someone
for it, but
start
that's being
defusing
stuck.
at
You've got to get
least.
in there. They've actually dealt with Scream, but there's still players here to defend it. Smoke down. He's close to you,
my
and they
God.
deal with him. What was this round? What are you doing, NiP? One by one, they push them. They give Liquid every opportunity. They spot Solkas coming behind them with the tripwire, and then they just ignore it. It's like Cypher's there to give you information so you can act on it. But in this
Nothing
case,
makes
Cypher was
sense.
there to push and give them a free kill. What the hell were they doing?
Nothing makes sense. Link delivering 2 incredible share of headshots, but then the Soulcast missed. Like, he gave away his position, I get it, so he's a bit concerned. Then he had the grenade. He's like, oh, a pistol. Oh, no. And then he was just ultimately confused himself. He mind-gamed himself out of kills, and then just, that was it. It was like,
See,
oh.
He was just sat there thinking, okay, these guys realistically know that I'm here. I just stepped into a tripwire. They 100% know I'm here.
Yep.
And then he looks at him and he's like, why is he not shooting me?
He's like, why is no one looking at me?
Oh,
He couldn't
man.
believe it himself. He wanted to give them a chance. He didn't want NiP to be that broken when it came to this. I think that's what it's all about. But right now, Liquid are in the driving seat. The aggression from Scream again comes out. It's no problem at all for him. And straight away, NiP are on the back foot. Kree wants to try and find a way in. But this is not going to be easy for NiP.
Shadows traveling.
Never mind the round. The game in general is going to be on their mind at this point. You have a few ults to play around the Hunter's Fury. And of course, Looker's Knives that are already out looking for some victims.
Oh, he can't
away
save
with
him in time. They're on the hunt for him. Straight in, and he does land it this time. That's better from Lucker with the knives. But is it going to be enough to give NiP the round? Liquid going to start to swap up some weapons. It's a 3 versus 3. They know Lucker has the ult up. Soulcast, this time you shouldn't be caught by surprise anywhere. Should be something you can play with.
There.
As they look to push back in, you're always going to be worried about those knives around any corner. They've been spotted, but here we go. Look how close.
No.
He's able to get the first, looks for a little bit more. The dash through, and a third connected, looking for his final victim. He's been spotted all this time, but he doesn't care. As Feareth closes out the round, he definitely doesn't need to. NiP
Much
picking up
better.
a 5th, but man, such a long road from this point. And that round was picked up because of Looker's ult. Now he doesn't have that for a few.
This is the thing, right? It's like, you can be happy with that. That was absolutely sick. I really thought when he chased after Scream, like, there was nothing going to happen there.
When
It was
Scream
like the
put the blind
typical,
down.
yeah, it's the typical, like, Lucker missing the knives and all that, but no.
He's so lucky that that was underneath him, that it was perfect, because he didn't step past it, but it was so close to him that it was off his
He was on
screen.
it.
So it doesn't actually blind him. You have to be physically able to see it. That's ridiculous. If Scream had put that slightly higher, or slightly lower so it was closer to him, that was no way Looker got that kill.
NiP need to start turning some of these rounds, though, into big momentum pushes. Because at the moment, I'm not sold on what we've seen from him. Soulcast puts the boom bot out. But it won't find any success. Long and A in general, at least coming out of NiP, has not been a focus. Oh, Scream, you're dead here. Easily done. Hit ready and waiting for it. He was patient the whole time. Now they've got an idea of where they might want to try and attack into. No rotations coming in just yet from the Liquid camp. Eccles just going to hold strong, and he does have the operator for it. Is he aware of that cipher, though? Maybe not.
The hunt begins.
Ooh.
Oh, the ult's been popped
Yeah.
now. Hip is looking to just swing on in and deal some damage. You're looking at Liquid giving up a lot of control, waiting for an opportunity. Eccles couldn't quite connect it on the crossover. And with the spike now planted, man disadvantage is not ideal, especially with it being screamed down. But I'm so surprised to see they're actually saving at this stage so early on.
Shadows traveling.
It's a very responsible decision.
Yeah, I'm down with it, right? Don't let it get too carried away. It's getting out of control. Let the Reyna waste the ult rather than push up into it. They've got site control anyway.
Well, of course, they don't need to feel desperate because obviously they're so far ahead, first of all. But this round has gone south because of a slight overextension to give an opening tool and then utility to push them back. Is that something you need to commit towards stopping? Not really at that point, especially because they've got the lead. Give them a round. Who cares? You're still only 2 away from a victory.
But those two can slip away. We've seen it. If we just go to our previous game, Mitch, it was... a one that Giants thought they had in the bag, but ever so surely G2 climbed their way into the game. 18-16, that was a mad, monstrous game.
I was truly blown away by that from Giants. They played unbelievably.
No, I'm very impressed with these guys, man. Very impressed.
Like it is just amazing to say quickly that, again, after that game, Fatino is still rated above Mixwell after they've gone head-to-head.
Yeah.
And Vodafone have had hard games as well. They played every good team. All they've got left is the lowest rated team in the tournament.
The team that hasn't won anything just yet. But sometimes, which I'll say with a caveat again, is teams can play up to the level of their opponents at times, you know?
Yeah.
Think you win it, think it should be yours, and then you drop it, you're like, oh, wait, whoa, why are we doing this? So they just need to play the same A game they've showed us in the rest of the tournament tomorrow against BBL, if we're honest. Push is coming in, though. Link misses a few shots. Oh, Lucas jumps straight in. The smokes are down. Oh, this is huge. Not working out for Scream. They push right in. There's too many players for him to deal with. It's chaotic from start to finish. Lucas trying to get the job done, and he's doing oh so well. Right on the corner. He's trying to chase Link down, but he's able to bounce away. Spike's on the floor, but it's still a 2 versus 3. Nicely done, Lucas. I don't think he was holding just to the left-hand side. I think he thought it was on the right. Cree now, he needs to not move from this position, but Fear off. This could be the one that seals it for him. This could be the one that makes it possible.
You will not
The revives come in, but are they still going to expect Fear off in this position? The heals are being placed on as well. And Fear off, the ultimate ninja now. The ult goes out. It's a crazy ult, and it's the timing. Oh, Link! How did he turn around and do it? And the defuse comes off. Liquid get the 12th round, and Link saves the day. This man is incredible. Mitch has no words.
Don't even know what to say. That's ridiculous. The shot to Looker was bad enough. He was 44 HP, and he somehow manages to get it. But the fact that he's able to deliver an ace, with that, like, this shot is insane.
Look,
He just reacts so quickly.
He's getting sprayed at. He's under pressure. And also, he just jumped straight on the spike. Had it been a second later, the whole different matter.
That's just nuts, man. And we said, we harp on about Scream, but Link is really the one that is like the unsung hero. He's got the highest KD in this tournament by miles.
I started off, what did I say when we sat there? I said we talk about Eccles, we talk about Scream all the time, but it's Link, right? He is the man who just delivers not just headshots, but just big brain plays, and not just because his picture shows his head in a fisheye lens.
Yeah, he's got the biggest brain, that's for sure, man. He's just nuts. That's unbelievable.
1-for-1 trade, at least in this round. This could be it for Liquid to take the first map. NiP, their backs are against the wall. Mitch, I can't handle too much more of this, mate. I'm too old for this.
Play of the tournament, man. That's play of the tournament, right? Between him, between Fatino, I just don't know.
No, I definitely give Link that, because Link, that's a round they shouldn't have won.
Yeah, 100%.
They were being flanked. Fatino's was stylish and looked really cool, right? We loved it, but I mean, that just then, so far, that's the play of the tournament. Clip that, show your friends, show you if you can be that good, you should be a pro player. Cryptics, this is nice, but is he going to expect a second? Lucka gets him through the wall. Game's still on. Plenty of chances to be had. 3v3. They're trying this C site once again. Oh, Eccles, this could be nice. Depending on the timing, is Lucker going to move at all? Eccles, you need to check window. Still left unchecked. Oh, there we go. Shots come through. Sova's getting the ult on go. He's not able to tag anyone, though. That's a problem for him. Lucker's still up in this room. Oh. Lucker's timing, that works out perfectly. They've got full control of it now. They expect another man to push through. Fearov's going to have extra information as well. Drone finally gets destroyed. Link is alive, though. Oh, he misses the key shot. Kriya. He comes in. He saves the day.
I genuinely get very worried when you've got
He's
Link
still
and
alive.
Scream in that 2v3. I'm like, oh, this is not over. But 12-7. And NiP again proving that they warm up into a map, but just they love to make it hard for themselves, don't they? 2 rounds in the first half.
Ooh, I got some more information from the FPX camp as well for us to have tomorrow. I'll save it.
Okay.
I'll save it.
But man, this is insanity.
Mate,
shit.
everything within Europe is so much more hype right now because like people are testing things, people are trying things out, teams are making it a lot more competitive. We're seeing teams come through qualifiers that look good. We're seeing Eccles, oh, he's looking to try and do some madness with the Bucky, but Hip's a little bit too fast for him.
Just a little bit.
I can't handle this no more. This is all just so exciting. I actually love this game.
Soulcast.
It's all these moments, like just Link just then.
Yeah.
Like Lucca, when he was just doing that, was like flying through the sky. You're up against Link and Scream. You're actually so worried that they're still not going to be able to do it.
Oh, the surprising thing to me, I was going to say, is Soulcast has been fairly quiet this whole tournament. Or this whole game, sorry, excuse me. He's like the 3rd highest rated player of the tournament. And yet it felt like he hasn't had a huge amount of impact on this map. And yet they're like, just Link is stepping up, Scream at the first half, just massively going his way. It's unreal. Unreal for Team Liquid. There's so much skill on this lineup combined with such a deep strat pool.
What have you actually thinking so far? What you've seen from Hip on Reyna? Because he's still fragging, right? I don't worry about the kills he's getting, but how are you viewing it? Because I'm not overly impressed just yet.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's like it's not giving me the same wow factor. And that's not just because I'm like fanboying on Scream. I've watched Scream bloody hell for years now, right?
Yeah.
I understand what that man can do, but it's the way Scream uses his Reyna is so impressive that I know we've only just seen Hip move to it, but it's like I'm just very critical right now of how it's going to be used, how it's going to be developed.
This is his 28th map playing Reyna, though. Remember, he used to make it. So, like, Hip is very
How long
familiar
since he
with it.
last played it, though, on unofficial?
Not that long. Let me just double check. It would be the last time that NiP
Do we know why he came off it?
Well, didn't he say that Reyna just wasn't working for him? Yeah, so like in the We Play event versus Fish 123 at the time, he was coming in as Reyna on this exact map. And obviously he just didn't feel like it was working for him and he wanted to swap into something else.
What did he use before he went to Phoenix? Did he just go straight from Reyna to Phoenix? I thought he had someone else in between. No,
I know he picked up Raze.
Yeah.
I don't think did he pick up something else?
But he'd always use Raze a little bit, right?
Hold on.
We've seen it occasionally.
I've got the game here where he swapped and he went to Sage actually.
There you go. So Sage
Yeah,
is in the middle.
okay.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. So Sage definitely isn't a character for him. We know that. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that's
so
not his agent.
I guess right for him, it's just swapping between these two. He's not going to play the Jet. You need Lucker on it. It just makes perfect sense.
Of course.
This is a nice start, though, for Liquid. Can they hold on to it, though? They've had an advantage position quite a few times, but they've struggled after that.
Scream is playing with the edge of that smoke. Again, his barrel very close to penetrating it. Kree made a very important play there just by going up and breaking that. How many times have we seen a team just leave B open because they've got a tripwire in the middle?
Yeah.
And they're happy to then stack towards either side. So just because that's broken, you have to commit manpower towards it.
Yeah, you're taking their confidence away to just sit there and say, it's not going to be me.
There's no one there. Like, maybe they're all 5.
And then they just bust it. Ooh, Soulcaster, you backing away at just the wrong time.
Begins.
Ryan makes some noise, though. The ult's going to be popped. Ryan's got himself into a nice spot. The spike's going to be planted, but it's these Liquid retakes again. We talk about them all the time. They're so damn scary, Mitch. It's a 5-man Liquid retake that is going to be dealt with. Scream in ult mode.
There.
They're going to try and find their way in. Eccles putting the orbs down. The ultimate retake coming through. Is it going to be enough? Is this the round that they get? Lucka, that's exactly what they wanted. Can NiP hold on to it? It needs to be a little bit more. The spike is already ticking a little bit faster, but is it all? Greed, Rhyme, Lucka, this is strong from NiP. They've held off against Liquid. They've made it work, and they continue to pick up rounds. The competition is on, and Eccles is down.
That opening kill by Looker as well on the retake was just a spam through the smoke. He was completely blocked off by the Omen smoke, who just decided to spray at just the right time with the operator. Again, Looker has been insane all tournament long. And it's wild because he's got so much inconsistency to him when it came down to some of those earlier games, but he makes up for it. It's like he'll have 3 or 4 rounds where he just can't hit the broadside of a barn. But then he comes in and he starts tapping heads from miles away the very next round.
Say that again.
What?
Lucka can't hit.
Cage trigger.
Broadside of a barn.
So cute in your accent.
What?
I love it.
I thought I'd messed it up. I was like,
no.
barns do have broadsides, and that's the long
It's just your accent comes out really strong on both broad and barn.
The broad side of the barn. All right.
Oh, I love it. You give me these moments, Mitch. You give us all these moments.
I don't know. There's just certain words that
The Irish bit comes
takes
out that
over.
more, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. Ireland. That's one of them.
Obviously. You'd hope so, wouldn't you? Soulcast's position will be known, and he'll back away for now. Reyna ult for Reyna ult. This time it's on the NiP side. Oh, Kree just on the edge. Liquid, they're getting into that struggle position. And Soulcast is trying to play the sneaky game here, but is it going to be enough? He needs Eccles to at least lock it down a bit more while he waits. He does it with a Marshall, but he's only good for 1. Soulcast comes in. The grenade's there as well. This could be it. It's a 1v1 against Lucka. They're going to mind game each other, but the knives! Oh, Lucka! That was the time to ult. You saved it for your team, and you stopped Liquid from getting that round to close out the game. Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee. You're gonna teach Looker how to play golf. I get the perfect swing.
Oh my.
That was unbelievable, and I like the decision making as well because it's like you're in a 1v1.
Yeah, you got it.
You gotta do everything you can to win that, or you're out. Like, oh, I'll save the ult for the next one. But what if you win? If you lose?
What if you
like,
lose? Is it
pointless? And he was jumping through there as well. He was on his way through the window, so he wouldn't have hit that with anything else. And he was low HP, so he would have lost that trade either way.
You're definitely right. He had the operator, so
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, you're not hitting a flick shot like that. You're probably
While
not
jumping.
expecting it. Yeah.
Really, really well handled by Looker. But now they've got to do it without any ults to be the saving grace.
Scream's quieting down a lot on this defensive side as well. Still picking up kills, but we're not screaming his name.
It's expected though, right? Because when you're in the Reyna, you can go and take map control, seize it away. On the defensive side, it's much different because when you push them, it's not the same as
No.
being on the attack because you're going to run in to 2 or 3 players, maybe more, maybe the whole team.
He needs to find the opener and then play off of that, but Soulcast is going to get down Lucka. That's a big pick-off. The Omen.
okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was almost
Eccles
awkward.
was ready.
So the odd thing is Scream doesn't play window normally. He's normally actually A long and pushes up there and gets early aggro.
True,
That's what I
true.
commend Liquid for because he
Mixing
gets
it
so
up.
much info early on. But this time he's been committed towards window. So another change up.
They got a 2-man lead in this one. Liquid. It's got close after a 10-2 first half. NiP have been fighting every step of the way. They're going to put their hope on the B site for the last round. Eccles isn't able to land the shot. Spike being planted in the open as well. It's going to give NiP
Watching this spot.
a chance to play this out how they would like without having to defensively plant the spike. Soulcast doesn't want to move from here yet. He's got his ult up as well. There's still a revive in play if they can get to Eccles, but Link's quite far away from that. Spike ticking away and they're being oh so cautious. Here we go. Soulcast gets himself the first. Fearoff goes down. They start to push in. He's up high and it doesn't do anything. Liquid are making it happen. They're getting it done. It's a 13-10 on their map pick. maybe you would say it should have been a bit more convincing than that. But either way, they took a win here, and they did not fall when NiP started to make a huge comeback into that game. 10-2 to 13-10.
NiP don't have a coach, right?
No.
As far as we know, anyways.
Yeah, no,
that's all I was asking. So I'm gonna.
The only teams